Princep. In 1771, an almost penniless man arrived in Bengal from England, lured to these shores by the promise of fortune. His name was John Princep, and Lady Luck indeed shone bright on him. He went into indigo cultivation, and by the time he was ready to sail back home in 1787, his personal fortune stood at 40,000 pounds. Back in England, Princep established himself as an East India merchant and, in time, also became a member of parliament. In 1799, his seventh son was born. The boy was christened James. From a very young age, James showed a remarkable ability in making detailed drawings and mechanical inventions. This led to him to study architecture under the tutelage of the eccentric but gifted Augustus Pugin. Sadly, an eye infection led to partial loss of eyesight, and James had to quit architecture studies. Thanks to his business, John Princep had considerable influence in the East India Company's affairs in India, and he secured a position for James in 1818 in Calcutta. On September 15, 1819, James Princep, accompanied by one of his brothers, arrived in Calcutta and took up his assigned position in the assay department of the Calcutta Mint. After a year, Princep was transferred to Benares to take up duties at the company mint there. It was in Benares that James Princep's life underwent a major transformation. Aside from his official duties, Benares reignited the love of architecture in young James's mind. By a fortuitous outcome, his eyesight improved considerably, and he devoted himself to studying temple architecture and made several illustrations on it. During his 10 years in Benares, Princep designed the buildings for the new mint and also a company church. One of Princep's memorable contributions to the city was designing an arched tunnel to drain out water from stagnant lakes and thereby improve the sanitation of the densely populated religious town. He also designed a stone bridge over the Karamansa River and produced a map of Benares and its surroundings, accurate at the scale of 8 inches to the mile. Another facet of Princep's multi talented personage came to the fore in form of a series of watercolors of Benares monuments and festivals. Princep's watercolors were sent to London in 1829 and published between 1830 and 1834 as Benares illustrated in a series of drawings. In 1830, after the Benares Mint closed down, Princep moved back to Calcutta as deputy essay master and 2 years later became the chief essay master. In 1833, he called for reforms to Indian weights and measures and advocated a uniform coinage based on the new silver rupee of the East India Company. He also devised a balance so sensitive as to measure 3,000th of a grain. In 1832, Princep became the secretary of the Asiatic Society of Bengal and also the founding editor of the Journal of the Asiatic Society. He regularly contributed articles on chemistry, mineralogy, numismatics, and on the study of Indian antiquities. He also was very interested in weather phenomena and collected weather data from across the country for research. He designed a modified barometer that automatically compensated for temperature. He also conducted experiments on practical methods to prevent rusting of iron surfaces. Many of his experiment results were published in the journal. From his early days in India, Princep had become enamored with deciphering of coin inscriptions and collected coins. He interpreted coins from Bactria and Kushan as well as Indian series coins, including punch marked ones from the Gupta series. He was the first to suggest that there were three stages in Indian coinage: the punch marked, the die struck, and the cast coins. Between 1836 and 1838, in a series of articles published in the Society Journal, Princep deciphered the ancient Indian script Brahmi. He also deciphered another ancient script Kharoshti almost concurrently but separately from Karl Ludwig. The deciphering of these ancient scripts was a pivotal moment in understanding of Indian society, especially that of Ashoka the Great, whose edicts inscribed in early Brahmi had till then remained undeciphered. Without the pioneering work of Princep and his contemporary Orientalists, the true legacy of Ashoka could have remained shrouded in darkness for many more decades. Princep's studies on inscriptions also helped in the establishment of date of Indian dynasties based on references to Antiochus and other Greeks. Princep also delved into the early history of Afghanistan, producing several works that touched on archaeological findings in that country. The immense toil, though, started taking its toll on James Princep's health. By 1838, his condition had deteriorated sharply, and in November of that year, Princep left for England. Unfortunately, his health never recovered, and on April 22, 1840, this incredibly gifted man breathed his last 4 months short of his 41st birthday. He had left behind his wife Harriet Sophia and a 3-year-old daughter Elijah. When news of Princep's death reached Calcutta, a pall of gloom descended on the city's social landscape. Several memorials were commissioned in his memory. A bust was erected at his beloved Asiatic Society. The most memorable of them was, of course, the Princep Memorial on the banks of the Hooghly, a Palladian style porch completed in 1843 and funded by his friends. Nearly 200 years later, it still stands in grandeur, a mute testimony to a man who proved true the iconic lines from the film Anand. जिंदगी बड़ी होनी चाहिए, लंबी नहीं. Thanks for listening. From a very young age, James showed a remarkable ability in making detailed drawings and mechanical inventions. This led to him to study architecture under the tutelage of the eccentric but gifted Augustus Pugin. Tutelage, Tutelag. Tutelage means teaching about how to do something. Eccentric, Eccentrac. Eccentric means strange, uncommon. On September 15, 1819, James Princep, accompanied by one of his brothers, arrived in Calcutta and took up his assigned position in the essay department of the Calcutta Mint. ASSAY. Essay means to examine a substance like gold or metal to find out how pure it is or what its properties are. Mint, MINT. Mint means a place where the new coins of a country are made. By a fortuitous outcome, his eyesight improved considerably and he devoted himself to studying temple architecture and made several illustrations on it. Fortuitous. Fortuitous means happening by chance rather than intention. Another facet of Princep's multi-talented personage came to the fore in form of series of watercolors of Benares monuments and festivals. Facet means one side of something, a particular aspect or feature of something. Come to the fore. Fore means come to public attention or into a noticeable position. In 1830, after the Benares Mint closed down, Princep moved back to Calcutta as deputy essay master and 2 years later became the chief essay master. ASSAY, essay master. Essay master means a chief officer appointed to try the weight and fineness of precious metals. In 1832, Princep became the secretary of the Asiatic Society of Bengal and also the founding editor of the Journal of the Asiatic Society. He regularly contributed articles on chemistry, mineralogy, numismatics, and on the study of Indian antiquities. Numismatics. Numismatics means the study or collection of coins, banknotes, and medals. From his early days in India, Princep had become enamored with deciphering of coin inscriptions and collected coins. Enamored, ENAMORED. Enamored means to be filled with love for something, liking a lot. The deciphering of these ancient scripts was a pivotal movement in understanding of Indian history, especially that of Ashoka the Great, whose edicts inscribed in early Brahmi and till then remained undeciphered. Edict means an official order or proclamation issued by a person in authority. Without the pioneering work of Princep and his contemporary Orientalists, the true legacy of Ashoka could have remained shrouded in darkness for many more decades. Pioneering, Pioneering. Pioneering means involving new ideas or methods. Princep also delved into the early history of Afghanistan. DELVE, delve into something means to search in order to find a thing or information. The immense toil, though, started taking its toll on James Princep's health. Toil, TOIL, toil means work extremely hard. Take toll on someone or something means to have a serious bad effect on someone or something. Thank you for listening.